Hello, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign. We're talking today about November of 2024 and how things to do with your larger gains in your career and social circles of friends are going to be graced by some Venusian goodness. As well, you may find there's some deep, lovely letting go of things that you've been doing in your life that know do not support you. And finally, some foreign land travel, if not a move, might be indicated from things that are germinating in November, but that can unfold over the next 2 years. So let's talk about how that breaks down in the month ahead. But before we do, if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Lori Lothian, and I am using the Western Tropical Zodiac whole sign houses, and I'm also using minor asteroids. I'm giving you the information you need to navigate your life with greater flow and ease so that you can make the decisions that really work for you. It's just basically how to use prediction proactively. Second of all, I would say to you that if you are, no, forget that. I forgot about my promotion. I'm having a little promotion. Did you want my 2024 All Signs videos? Then check out the description box below. They are for sale at 35% off in the pre-sale price. That's 75 minutes per video content with a PDF booklet that goes with it. And you can buy just your sign for your Sun, Moon, and Rising individually, or buy the whole sign of 12 sign bundle, share with friends and family. And it's even cheaper to do it that way if you want to check for Sun, Moon, and Rising sign for yourself, assuming they're all different. So check that out. I will deliver that to you in the third week of November. All the information you need to get that content is down below. And that content never goes public. It's always privately sold each year. So let's get back to the basics here and talk about your month. First of all, I want to remind you that because you're Jupiter ruled, Sagittarius and Pisces are Jupiter ruled, Jupiter's retrograde until December 29th in the sign of Taurus. And we have to start off with the big picture for you because nothing matters without Jupiter for you. You're the guy that Jupiter does his best for. So I want to encourage you to think about your life in a big, broad way as good things begin to mobilize more directly and obviously in your life after the December 29th, 30th, right through to the end of May, in your workhouse, in your livelihood, in your health, in your pets, in your rental situations. All of that, Jupiter and Taurus in your sixth house looks better and better on you after the end of the month of December. That said, there's some momentous activity from other planets this month, and we're going to break that down. 3 planets change signs: Mercury, Venus, and Mars. This is an energy shift from what you've been experiencing in the couple of months before this. Number one, when Mercury's changing signs, which he does pretty quickly, he's a fast mover, this is going to take him in his sign change shift into Sagittarius out of Scorpio. And this change for him is happening on a date of November the 9th. And the day before, Venus moves into her home sign of Libra on November the 8th. So there's a sign change on November 8th and 9th by the 2 fast moving planets. Well, first of all, when Mercury goes into your first house, he's going to activate you. You are a Sag. Your sun is your career, your moon is your identity, perhaps. I mean, you're a home and your mother stuff, and your ascendant is your whole identity and who you really are. But all of you will feel this kind of movement of Mercury in the house of you, asking you to come up with new ideas, to think in more motivational, inspirational ways, to look and dive for the research you need to make yourself clear about something that you need to understand because it needs to be true. Now, the downside of Mercury in the house of you, and you'll be very communicative, writing, talking, maybe even traveling with this, but downside is Mercury's not in his strongest place here. In fact, he's in exile from Gemini. And so part of the challenge you're going to have is to communicate clearly, not to overemphasize and confabulate and blow things out of proportion, not to hopefully lie. So try to find your truth teller in your own speech and communication writing during this month. But nonetheless, Mercury can engender you with really great ideas for things that have to do with how you can achieve great gains in your career. Because Venus at the same time is in a whole sign flow called a sextile through the sign of Libra, the house of the great gains from your career, the perks, the rewards, the awards, the success. And so how you make that career money and how good it can look on you is going to be a Venus talking to Mercury, giving you great ideas. Now, Venus in your 11th house can be she's in the house of the elder sibling, a female elder sibling. It can also be the house of female friends and allies who wish to support you. They're going to act like benefactors. They're going to do things to give you a leg up. They're going to act like you're a younger sibling. So look to women to support you during this window of time. Again, it begins for Venus moving into the sign of Libra on, oh, my brain, on November the 8th through to December 4th. And Mercury will be also in Sagittarius, your house view, November 9th to December 1st, right? So they're tracking with each other in a whole sign sextile for most of this time. Sextiles are the nature of luck, the nature of Venus. They're good, they're easy, and they're flowing energy. So the other thing I'd say with Venus in your 11th house is that you could have a windfall. It's not that common. I'm not going to pretend it is, but it's kind of like, oh, it feels like pennies are landing on my head from heaven. So possibly some financial bonus points can hit the game board for you during this transit. Just be aware she will hit the south node later in her journey, and that could also be a place of feeling a bit disappointed or let down financially or with a friend or a sibling. So keep that in mind as one of the only downsides of Venus moving through your 11th house, inner sign of her home, dignity. Now we're going to also look at the fact that Mars will get out of Scorpio. Now he's doing a big deal thing, like a life-changing thing, not seen since 1991 in the sign of Scorpio for you. So this is a big deal. And we're going to talk about it in a minute when I do the chronology of the month ahead. But I want to mention this for you. When he is in Scorpio, Mars in Scorpio, from October 12th to the 23rd of November, for the first 3 weeks in November, he's there. He can invite you to cut away, snip, and end things that no longer serve you, things that are not in your highest good, that addiction, that wine habit, that alcohol, the vaping, the cigarettes, hopefully nothing worse. Mars is good at helping you cut, sever, and end those things that you do to undo yourself, sabotage your life, and let your own self down. He also doesn't mind traveling off to foreign lands during this kind of transit through the 12th house. So you may be also getting some foreign land travel off, and off you go. And that may have been true October 12th all the way through to November 23rd. But then he moves into Sagittarius. Now, when he's in Sagittarius, he's got a whole different thing. He's all about fire. He's full of adventure. He's a warrior hero on an adventurous junket, and you might find yourself feeling very Martian. You may feel very compelled to be bold, daring, and adventurous, to be willing to take risks, to step forward with powerful actions and decisions. So that's how you will feel November 23rd through to his leave taking of the sign of Sagittarius on January 4th. So this is a kind of you carrying the sword. Now, the interesting part is watch for damaging actions through your words, perhaps, or communication that you might not want to do and you might have to take back. And that's because you'll have Mercury also co-present with Mars in Sagittarius for a short time. So watch out for the danger zone here. And that danger zone will be between the 24th of the month of November to December the 1st. Mercury and Mars are together in the first house of you, and that's hot speech, argumentative speech, conflictual speech. You may be aiming it at your business partner, your marriage partner, your children. I don't know where you're aiming it, but watch out, blowing out with the boss. Be careful for a kind of like a hot way of communicate, fiery Sag, self-righteous communication with a sword of truth and righteousness in your hand. Just be cautious for that, because it can definitely be your downfall in that window of time I mentioned, the 24th to December the 1st. Okay, so moving into the two moons, we have two lunations this month. Before I break down the month in detail, we have a Scorpio new moon in the house of your self-undoing and addictions and foreign countries and foreign lands. Because of Mars's Cazimi here, some of you may relocate to a foreign country and reside there in the 2 years that follows this. Now, it can also mean trouble in foreign shores and foreign lands as well. We'll get to the Cazimi in a minute. But nonetheless, a new moon means new beginning. So there's a new beginning trying to form in your 12th house of foreign lands, foreign shores, changes of residence to foreign lands and foreign shores, things to do with your addictions and self-undoing, and difficulties with people who are connected to prisons, insane asylums, or not difficulties yet, change in the 2 years that follow, but the new moon, a new beginning with prisons, insane asylums, hospitals, and stuff like that. A lot of social workers have many planets in the 12th house because it's the underdog, the downtrodden, but you have changes in this part of your chart coming through the sky in the 2 years that follow this November's Cazimi. We'll get to the Cazimi information in a minute. The full moon is happening on November the 27th. It's happening at 4 degrees of Gemini. It's taking off from a new moon in June of 2023. You're planting seeds in the Gemini real estate, which is your business partnerships, legal contracts, significant others, including your spouse type relationship, your audience and your marketplace. Now, seriously, there's so many good ways this can look on a Gemini, right? It can look like a fullness in the house of marriage, like it's a full moon, something's coming to fruition. But also know that full moons are also completion energy. So some of you may be either fulfilling and full energy in the house of marriage, significant marriage partnerships, significant client relationships, business audience, marketplace, stories, and business partners. And you know, you have a full moon here every 2 years. So obviously you don't end a marriage every 2 years, right? But you have that sword in your hand. And that could make you very terse and willing to cut somebody off, you know, and sever and end significant relationships in your life in the aftermath of November 27th full moon, and specifically in the 2 weeks that follow or up to a month afterward. And that overlaps with that Mars energy in the house of you as well, and the sharp words that Venus can bring into your life as well. So you may just have, you know, you're not going to suffer any fools gladly, including the one that you're with, you know, in your primary relationship. Moving into the next story. Let's go through the chronology of the month. Ready? Ready, set? And don't forget, check out my Patreon community, because you can get ad-free early access discounts until mid-October. I do have a promotion, and it's like you can get 2 free courses with me, the Chiron Key to Purpose and the Synastry Are You My Person class, plus my remaining 2023 all signed videos for free when you try me out for $5 a month at Patreon. Ad-free early access to all my content. This is being recorded October 12th, so that's how early it is for my patrons compared to what you guys see on YouTube. If you want that kind of stuff, check me out in my description box below. Moving into the chronology of the month. On November the 3rd to the 4th, there's a Neptune-Venus opposition that's pretty intense, because see, Venus is in her fall. She has yet to move into Libra. She's in the sign of Virgo. This is your reputation and your career space, how people see you, your status, married, widowed, divorced. It's your kind of area where you want to achieve something and be seen as successful and ambitious. And she's in a place of her fall. And then she opposes Neptune in the place of the house or the home you live in. And possibly you're getting a serious, sober-minded, realistic look at where you're living, because Saturn's here since March. Maybe you don't like your neighborhood, your neighbor, your home. Maybe you don't even like the country you're living. I don't know, but there's some disappointment here. Now, Venus can be a female that disappoints you, or just a disappointment in general about situations here. It can be some difficulty in a career and reputation space where you're feeling fallen, and now you're also disillusioned, and somehow it connects to things that are going on in and from your home, where you've been foggy and delusional and kind of confused thanks to Neptune, particularly retrograde in this part of your sky. But don't worry, Sagittarius, by telling you to 2026, Saturn will have shored up your forever home and found you a really good grounded place to live, right? That kind of thing. Certainly though, Saturn in your 4th house for the next 3 years can look like a confused, demented elder coming to live with you. So anyways, there's just that idea of an elder coming to live with you, and that may be also a difficulty, and maybe there's something about that that's germinating with this window of November 3rd to the 4th. Happy news though, Venus will, even though she's fallen in Virgo from your career house on November 6th days, the good news is 6th to 8th, she will trine Pluto in Capricorn, and that's your 2nd house of earnings from your 10th house of career and reputation. There can be some power up financially for you through your career, reputation, part of your sky, to do with some monetary gain or some powerful financial resources coming your way. November 6th to the 8th. On November the 11th to the 12th, Mars will come into an opposition to Uranus, and that is a very combustible and shocking, unexpected energy regarding change and direction of change of direction, or combat or difficulties of communications. November 14th, did I say November 11th to the 12th? November 11th to the 12th. Okay, so Mars is in his home sign of Scorpio. He's got the upper hand. He's in your 12th house of foreign shores, foreigners, foreign lands, resources, your own self-undoing. And he's opposing Uranus in the 6th house of health. Work. Now, a couple of thoughts I have here. Pets. You could have a pet in the hospital, doggy hospital, suddenly. Oh my God. Watch your pet so don't get into accidents. Please be careful November the 11th to 12th with a cat or a dog kind of thing running into the street. Somebody else may be in the hospital who's had an injury, accident, or sudden health event, and the shock is coming from the 6th house. So somebody that would be connected to karmic relationships that you have in this lifetime. You may also have an unexpected situation in work that jolts you and this surprises you, colleagues, coworkers, but it involves the potential disruption of something to do with a travel plan, for example. So those are some ways that can play out in your sky. It's not an easy sky, November 11th to the 12th, and it's playing off a larger picture from the conjunction of Mars and Uranus in 2022 August. So that's a whole other video I'll be doing. So stay tuned for how it all ties together. Then moving into your big deal story, Mercury in the heart of the sun, last seen in 1991. Mercury in the heart of the sun in Scorpio is going to say something along the lines of, on November 17th, I will start something new, but it may not be easy for you regarding foreign shores and foreign lands, travel, residence changes regarding foreign nations and countries to your birthplace, and a deep reset button regarding addictions and self-undoing. And so this energy is going to take 2 years to play out, but you begin to get the reset button in November. That said, he's invisible, and you're likely not seeing the results of this reset until January, when Mars becomes a visible planet, and the 2 years that follow. Now, November 14th to November the 21st, we have Mars tracking tightly with the sun and invisible. This is an invisible Mars, and if I were you, I mean deeply invisible, I would not make any travel plans that I expect to work out to foreign countries and foreign shores. If I could avoid it, then I would just wait until he's out of the woods here. But the reason I think some of you may choose to move to a country other than your birthplace is the sun is a ruler of your house of the foreigners and the foreign shores as well. And this energy of a residential reset for some Sagittariuses regarding a different homeland is quite likely possible in the 2 months that follow this, the 2 years that follow this Cazimi, and even more likely if your floating IC and whole sign houses is in your third house. All right. Then we keep going with, and I always forgot for the last couple signs, there is a silver lining of a trine to Neptune. I forgot to mention, sorry, last couple signs, I think I forgot. But the trine to Neptune is like, and by the way, you're also baking in positive, beautiful, enchanted dream home energy. And it will almost invite you to find your dream home in the 2 years that follow, despite the turbulence. Okay, so keep that in mind, from the trine to Neptune in your fourth house. On the 20th to the 21st, Mars is applying in a sextile to Pluto. Pluto in the house of earnings, Mars in the house of foreigners, foreign shores, foreign lands. Obviously, something is percolating here. 12th house matters can be also that kind of deeper part of you, your soul, your past lives. You might be incubating some new action plan or strategy. You won't take it into action until January because Mars is invisible. But because we have the co-presence of Mercury in the beginning of the month, right, with Mars, there may be a sense that you're creating ideas or germinating something new that can help you make a lot of money. And it will be maybe evident to you in January as Mars will be visible again in your second house of earnings. But he's hatching a plot here on the 20th to the 23rd with Pluto, the god of wealth and power. On the 24th, and you could sell a possession too. You could sell a home in a foreign country, for example, or maybe want to buy a home in a foreign country, if for some of you, on the 20th to the 23rd of the month, but also maybe buy. Because that new moon really could suggest a new home as well. If the word foreign lands or foreign shores makes any sense to you. On the 24th to the 27th, Mars will make a difficult square to Saturn, and Saturn is in your fourth house, trying to find you a forever home and maybe have an elder live with you in the next 3 years, a parent, your wife's parent or something like that, or grandparent, depends how old you are. And Mars squaring Saturn is tough. It's frustration energy. Mars wants to move ahead, and he's in his own sign, and he's strong in your 12th house. Go, let's travel to that foreign land. Let's make that that addiction rehab center event happen. Or let's go to the hospital and fix my broken leg. And then Saturn is in a square, which is a sort of stop sign from the fourth house of home, property, and real estate. It could be somebody you're living with or you cohabitate with saying no to whatever your plans you're trying to hatch that may involve Mars stories in that 12th house. Again, travel plans, foreign shore travel can be an example, because this is also a house of generating revenue from foreigners and foreign lands. There also may be difficulty doing that. Maybe your PayPal or Stripe account shuts down on you on the 24th to the 27th. But whoever Saturn is, or whatever Saturn is in your fourth house, he is trying to give you some solidity in the idea of your root, your nest, your home over the next 3 years. And even though Mars is strongly placed in Scorpio, I mean, Saturn is the guy that has the long game in in mind for you. So whatever the frustration is on the 24th to the 27th, this too shall pass. Uh-oh, back it up. Sorry, back it up, back it up. Sorry. This is what happens when I record too many videos in a row. I'm not going to re-record this. I apologize. I think I did this for one other sign in this recording set. I apologize. Yes, Mars has moved out of Scorpio. I apologize. He's moved into Sagittarius on the 23rd, and he is squaring Saturn. Let me reframe that. You have a conflict with somebody in the home or something going on at home, and you are holding the sword in your hand and you are aiming it at that person you live with, and maybe at your spouse, mate, or business partner, December 24th to the 27th. And the experience is frustration. This experience is you're moving in a certain direction and somebody is trying to stop you or obstacle you or contain your momentum, enthusiasm, and passion. So because the fourth house where Saturn is a house of the mother, and also it's your childhood, your family of origin, maybe it's one of those types of people who's got their naysaying voice going, right? No, 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 it's not a good idea, or I don't like that. But it can be anybody you live with, including a wife, including a child. So look for that tension there between your passionate excitement about something, Mars and Sagittarius, and some conflict with someone else in your cohabitational space, in your home space, December 24th to the 27th. My apologies to you, Sagittarius, for screwing that up. I really am like, sometimes my brain goes offline after I've done a lot of videos, but it's not just that. It's just me. I was always, my mother used to say it, what she used to say, like, I lose my head if that wasn't screwed on. Saturn is moving direct, by the way. He was retrograding, and then on November 4th, he goes direct in your fourth house of home, property, and real estate. So those things that are going on in your home to do with your forever home and where you want to live and where your home should be, or plans to move an elder into your home, are taking form as of November 4th onward as we get a direct motion Saturn as well. Thanks for being so patient with me, Sagittarius. I really apologize for that. I mean, I can't say sorry enough, but please don't troll me. Thank you. But I know astrologers make mistakes all the time. We misspeak a lot because we talk a lot on YouTube. Can't count the times I'm watching a fellow astrologer babble on about something and they say the wrong word and I know what they mean, right? Now, don't forget, all signs videos are for sale, pre-sale, 35% off. Check the description box below. Buy your individual sign, buy the whole package. It's up to you. You'll get them delivered the third week of November. I'd love you to get that content to navigate the most amazing stuff that's going on in 24. Thanks everyone for listening. I wish you Sagittarius an amazing month of November. It can't be any worse than October. And I don't know what's going to happen after October 12th, but I'll be putting out a video for the 13th. Because I think we're having this 9/11 vibe. The whole world feels it, and I think it's not going to be great. So I can't tell you what's happening. You're listening in November, right? But yeah, like it doesn't feel like things are going to go very well in October. Big hugs, everyone.